Hello, my name is Susan Elizabeth Carter. I am French, German, Cherokee, and Seminole, and even though I am proud of my heritage, especially my native heritage, I'm not as closely tied to it as I would like to be. I do, however, have a large dreamcatcher tattoo on my back in honor of my father, grandfather, and all the warriors that have fallen before me, and I do try to teach my son about the old ways as much as possible. When my mother found out she was pregnant with a girl, she wanted to name me Bethany in honor of Queen Elizabeth II, who she always thought was poised, regal, and beautiful. When I was born, she said that I didn't look like a Bethany, however, so they decided to name me Susan Elizabeth instead, in honor of my father's best friend from 3rd grade, who would later become the one that got away, and of course the Queen. We moved from Troy, Missouri, where I was born when I was a year old, in order to be closer to my father's parents so that they could go back to work and someone could watch me. When I was 4 and a half, we moved from Memphis, Tennessee to Ashland, Mississippi because our neighborhood had gotten real bad, and one night I witnessed one man shoot another. Fortunately for me, it was just shadow figures, and I didn't really see much. We lived in Ashland, Mississippi until I was 12, when my parents decided to get a divorce. After that, my mom, my brother, and I moved in with my aunt, my uncle, their 2 kids, and my uncle's niece in Long Beach, Mississippi. We lived with them for about 9 months when they decided to move to Utah, and they sent my uncle's niece back to Palau, which is an island in the Western Pacific. Very beautiful. Hope to go there one day. After moving from Long Beach, we moved to Columbia, Mississippi, which is where my mom is originally from. We lived with my aunt for about 3 months and moved in with my grandparents because my mom and my aunt couldn't get along. We lived with my grandparents for almost a year until my mom could finally afford a house of her own. I lived in Columbia until I was 19. When I was 19, I moved to Portage, Wisconsin with my son, who is then 2, and I lived there until I was 21. I moved back home to Columbia because the man I was dating at the time just didn't work out. I have lived in Columbia from the time I was 21 up until now. Here recently, I moved to Foxworth, Mississippi, which is basically a suburb of Columbia. I am currently a manager at The Deck, which is a locally owned fast food restaurant, and I am pursuing a career in psychology. I am pursuing this career because not only does my son have ADHD, and there aren't many good counselors around, but because I have battled depression for 16 years and I know what it's like to be picked on, ridiculed, singled out, and to feel lonely and not loved all the time. I hope that this course will help me to establish better working relationships through communicating more precisely and effectively. I'm not very good at public speaking. I don't like being put in the spotlight, nor do I like talking to people that I don't know. But hopefully this course will help me, and thank you for watching.